All right. All right. Hopefully we're back. Hopefully everything is looking green. Stream. All right. Hello. Hi. Welcome back, everybody, or just plain welcome to the command center. Again, I'm Commander Lionheart. Again, back with another brand new episode. Again, of Mystery Movie Friends. I already said that. This is Deja Vu. Because we already introduced ourselves kind of, but hey, the stream was going wacky, so now I had to restart it and also record it. Joining me tonight for Mystery Movie Friends to discuss Batman, Mask of the Phantasm. We got John.
Hello.
G, who is actually here now, and we don't hear his conversation with his superior officer.
Not my superior officer, but hello.
Just superior.
And joining us again as a special guest and as a friend of the show is the author of the newly released, I can talk, book on Amazon. Is it, well, I'll ask you in a second. The author of Superpunks, available now on Amazon.com. It's Stephen JD.
Hello.
Is it available only on Amazon, or can people get it elsewhere as well?
I think it's on Kindle too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will be dropping the link on the description on YouTube. Now that we are actually doing this and the stream is going well, god damn it. And I'm recording it just in case. Gentlemen, Batman. It's still a thing. He still exists. He's still... How old is Batman now? Like 80 years? 90
Almost
years?
to 100.
Something like I think it was 39 last week we found out.
100?
Almost 100?
Almost.
Okay. So he's almost 100 and he's still going strong. And some could say he's never been better. Maybe.
I mean, it's bad hard if you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Hard to kill.
Huh. Yeah, hard to kill. He is hard to kill, isn't he? Even when he's dead, he comes back. Damn comics. But yeah, because of
means hard to kill.
Because the Batman has been I haven't been following the box office of this week, but I assume that it's still doing well on the box office, right?
500 and something million over this week, I think.
Okay, so it is doing really well. So, kind of in honor again of the Batman having released last week? Yeah, last week. A week before.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Sunday. Technically, it's the next. Technicality.
Not last Friday, but the last Friday.
Yeah, the Friday before this Friday, which is still Friday. Because of the Batman, we decided, hey,
The Batman.
let's do another Batman movie, because last week we discussed Batman Begins, which, Stefan, quick review of, I don't know, when was the last time that you saw Batman Begins?
It hasn't been that long, maybe a couple of years. I want to say it feels like it hasn't aged well because of how good The Dark Knight is. But maybe it's, I don't know. I don't, like, there's no reason to watch it because The Dark Knight exists. In my opinion.
Okay.
It's just a superior movie.
Oh yeah, the Dark. I think that we all last week said it so that, you know, The Dark Knight is it's like Batman Begins but way better. But I still find,
Yeah.
I still think that Batman Begins is. Do you like The Dark Knight Rises?
I like parts of it.
Okay.
Overall, generally, yeah, it's not like a super bad movie or anything like that. That'd be like Batman and Robin or.
Hey! Don't you be besmirching
We don't talk bad about
our
Batman and
masterpiece, the masterpiece that is The Iceman Cometh.
Yeah, I'll try to chill on that, but
Hey, chill out. But yeah, we talked about that movie last week. And, this week we decided, let's follow it up with an animated Batman movie. The first Batman animated movie that went to theaters. Which is Batman Mask of the Phantasm. But before we actually get to that, last week John saw the Batman, and this week I have two more people who have seen the Batman. Stefan, I'll let you talk first because I know that you're probably not as hot as as G and John.
Well, I think the biggest
real fast. The Batman is up to 463 million worldwide.
Okay, that's
on its way.
I mean, 2 weeks. That's good, especially for a pandemic. I mean, we're things are loosening up now, so But yeah, Stefan.
But yeah, I mean, like right off the bat, I would say like it's runtime. It's just too long. Like there's so many things I could cut out of that movie and I wouldn't miss them. And like when I was growing up, I really wanted my Batman films to be longer, and now I'm like, no, it's like Dark Knight kept it pretty tight for 2.5 hours. I think maybe one or two things, but yeah, it's just too long. It definitely takes cues from the aesthetic of like the Arkham Knight game. Like if Matt Reeves says he wasn't inspired in some way by that game, he's a liar.
He's bullshit.
Yeah, he's full of shit. And then the other things, like the third act wasn't that great. I thought it should have ended after he got the Riddler. Like, that's it. Like, he got him. There should have been, like, maybe a last little thing, but not, like, that big thing with all the Riddler snipers and everything. Sorry, am I ruining it for you? I shouldn't spoil it.
No, don't worry.
Okay.
Don't worry. I will probably forget about all that in a moment.
Okay, I'm sorry. I mean, it's like what? Like he wasn't gonna catch him anyway.
Exactly.
But yeah, no. The Riddler was good. Catwoman was good. Their relationship was like in it way more than I wanted it to be. And yeah, generally that's it. Like everyone was on fire. It's probably the best relationship I've ever seen with Batman and Gordon. I think the guy who plays Gordon is the best Jim Gordon.
Jeffrey Wright.
Yeah, of all time. He completely embodied the character.
Yeah,
as far as I'm concerned.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. He's way up there.
Yeah, and that's about all I could say about it without more spoilers or anything. Yeah, the clues were a little goofy. I think they worked with them, like the El Rada, whatever it was. But that's my general thing. It was too long. I didn't like the third act, and everyone else was pretty much on fire.
Okay. G, you also saw it.
Yeah, everyone did their homework on their characters, for the most part. This movie made me want an R-rated horror Batman movie. If you go in looking for a action-packed movie like The Dark Knight, for example, that name has been mentioned a lot. I have been hearing a lot of it. A lot of comparisons with The Dark Knight, with Batman Begins, with the Christopher Nolan series. You're not going to find it, because this is a psychological thriller. This is all mental work. And it's exhausting. It's a movie that it's long, and it's exhausting if you go in the mainframe of looking for action, because there's pretty much not that much action. It's just a mental, psychological movie. Also, you don't get the origin story of Batman. Thank God for that. And also, it's the beginning of Batman in the beginning of Batman's career. So you're not gonna see like the high-tech thing. Yeah, but for the most part, you're not gonna see all the high-tech toys or anything. Heck, even the Batmobile is you could say that it's a Charger that was taken out of the junkyard and basically stash a jet engine on it, which I'm surprised that they haven't done that in Fast and Furious. Now they will do it. But yeah, I really like this movie. And Gordon, they better keep that guy as Gordon, as Commissioner Gordon, because that guy really did a great job. And I also like the chemistry between him and Batman, Robert Pattinson in this case. Also, it doesn't shine. Batman doesn't shine in the movie, so
God damn it.
we're good.
God damn it, G. So what from what you guys have said, you know, it's a good movie to have a sequel as well, right? Like they should absolutely do a sequel, or would you just leave it at a one and done? I know that John last week said that yeah, they should do a sequel.
Give me a sequel if you're gonna give me a horror Batman movie. It's like remember when Corey was speaking about that Darth Vader scene in Rogue One?
Rogue One.
Where we should have like a R-rated horror Darth Vader movie. In this case, we should have an R-rated horror Batman movie. At least that's how I feel.
Yeah, I'd take that.
Yeah. Yeah, they just need to stay away from the Joker. Like, don't do another Joker. Yeah, do something else.
Oh,
Stefan, I don't know how you feel about it, but I feel like they lost an opportunity to bring in the Joaquin Phoenix Joker. And I say this thinking in the fact that this movie is a psychological thriller Batman. If you go back to the Joaquin Phoenix movie, that one was also more psychological than crime action theme movie. So they lost an opportunity there.
I don't know how well those two movies would jive together if you like tried to bring those together. Honestly, they could do it, but I'm not. I don't know if I want to see it.
Haven't they also said like there's going to be a Joker sequel for some reason?
Yes, and a Ben Affleck sequel for some reason.
I mean, oh boy. So
okay, that one I'll take because I like Ben Affleck a
lot. I like Ben Affleck, but the problem is that I think that we're going back to the too much Batman at the same time, and people are going to get exhausted at some point. Is the problem?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I obviously haven't seen the movie yet, so I can't actually comment on that. But I feel like a lot of people are already saying, "Hey, there's too much Batman. Like, give him a break or something." So if we had the Robert Pattinson Batman and the Ben Affleck Batman movies, like going back to back, or you know, something like that. And then there's Michael Keaton, which apparently they were. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know if they're, because I have also heard rumors that they want to do another Michael Keaton movie after the Flash movie. So maybe it's too much Batman. You know.
If they're going to do a Michael Keaton movie, for the love of God, let it be Batman Beyond.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
And have him be old Bruce. That's the only way that I think that can work.
Yes.
I mean, I would be fine with the Michael Keaton, but a Batman Beyond with him as old Bruce.
Old Bruce, yeah.
Would be just the best.
Yeah. Because you know, at the end of the day, it's just going to be like Michael Keaton chilling outside the suit and some stunt guy in the suit. Like,
oh, yeah.
I mean, that's what happened with Mr. Freeze and Schwarzenegger, but yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, if you know what killed the dinosaurs, then yeah.
God damn it. Okay, that's enough puns.
Just just one quick question for me for both of you guys. The Batmobile scene, the best scene in the movie?
Yes. As soon as that Lion also sent me that amazing video.
That oh my god, that just hearing the Batmobile fire up and feeling it felt like you were literally sitting on top of the Batmobile the way the chairs shake, or at least in my theater. Like it was just one of those you can only get in a movie theater. I was just like flabbergasted by how awesome. And I'm planning to go see the movie again next week, and that's probably the most excited part to get to just see that part again is what I'm most excited to see the movie again, honestly, because that left such an impact on me.
Yeah, I think the Gotham PD scene was my favorite when they're all kind of arguing and going at it. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was a good one too.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to actually watching the movie in a couple weeks when it comes to HBO Max. But yeah. With that out of the way, with the Batman out of the way, let's talk about the movie that we're actually here to talk about. Batman, Mask of the Phantasm.
Batman.
This is okay. I know for a fact that G had never seen this movie, but the rest of us, we had seen this movie before.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Many times.
Probably, yeah. I was gonna say probably multiple times. I have a question that I didn't look for it because I wanted to ask it in the show. Did this movie come out at the same time as the show, or did it come out before the show?
This movie.
The show was 2 years later.
I think it came out during it.
The show was 98, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't 98.
It was like 92 to 95 or something.
Because this movie came out in 93.
Yeah, the release of this movie, it's
the animated series came out in 92.
After 92. The series.
Okay. So it was during this
Yes,
the series.
a very good year.
Okay, so it was during...
Mask of the Phantasm was 93.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I had recently heard someone say that it came out like a little before the series, and I was like, that can't be right. I don't know what they were smoking. But I don't know. This almost could have actually been like a pilot of the animated series in a way. Like, I want to say, and this is not hard to do, a much better introduction to a series than Star Wars: The Clone Wars movie. Which, again, not hard to do because, God, that thing was awful. But this could have kind of served like a pilot, like I
played the fifth,
like a more than an hour long pilot episode of the animated series, serving as an introduction to it. Like, you can almost see sometimes like little pauses where they could have like gone to commercials or something. Like, it's not as blatantly obvious as when it is the cartoon show, but there are some parts where you could be like, oh, to be continued or something like that.
Yeah, it has its origin story in it too, so it's right there.
Yeah. Which I think
as
that they
year one basically kind of.
Yeah, I don't think that I have not seen the show in a long time, and even then I had never like watched the entirety of it. Did they not have like an origin story in the show?
Not that I remember.
No.
Yeah, because when the show starts,
it starts out with him, with him and Robin. Like it starts out, yeah.
Yeah, the first episode is him like going after Man-Bat, if I remember.
Mm-hmm. On something on leather wings or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, the show just goes straight into it, like no origin or anything. It's just, oh, here's Batman. Although I guess that maybe the reason why they did the show like that was because this show takes not heavy, but a lot of inspiration from the Tim Burton movies. Like does
Well, Batman Returns came out the same year.
okay, Batman
No, year before actually.
Batman 89. Mostly.
No,
Yeah.
Returns. Oh yeah, yeah.
No, but that it takes heavy inspiration
Yeah.
from Batman 89.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the Batwing is somewhat very similar to the Batwing in Batman 89. Is the theme song for this also done by Danny Elfman? Or no?
It's done by a lady. I forget her name,
He's
but she. Yeah.
Okay.
Danny Elfman did work on it, but he wasn't the main. He did some of the like music coordination, but he wasn't the main composer.
Okay. But yeah, the like as I was watching this, I was just reminded a lot of, and obviously I think that we've all known, or a lot of people have known for years that the Batman the animated series took a lot of inspiration from the Tim Burton movies. At least in terms of like the aesthetic of it being for the time, and still considering what we saw tonight, or I saw it today. This is a very mature kids cartoon, I want to say.
I mean, you could
Same as the show.
Oh yeah, I know. It's same thing for the show. Like I almost feel like
That's back when they respected people.
that's back when television had balls. I almost feel like I almost feel like we wouldn't get a Batman like this today. Like we wouldn't get a Batman the animated series today in normal television. We would get it on HBO Max, but not like Cartoon Network or anything, or
Well, actually, I know a lot of people have thoughts on this show. I thought it was okay. Beware the Batman was actually on. They premiered it on Cartoon Network, but it was on Adult Swim. It was an animated Batman, but they put it on Adult Swim, and that was 2016, 17.
I have not seen that.
You have it on the late show.
Yeah, I don't hate that show. I actually thought it was pretty good.
I mean, you knew that shit had to be hardcore if you were either on Toonami or Adult Swim.
Yeah.
If you were on regular programming, you were probably,
the Batman. The Batman was, I mean, it was for the time, I mean, for the mid to late 2000s, it was around the same darkness level as the animated series. I like it. It's a good spiritual successor to the animated series, in my opinion. The Batman's probably my second favorite Batman series.
I couldn't get into it because of the aesthetic. It was too cartoony.
Yeah.
Whereas like this one's more, Art Deco.
Yeah, the art style's different, but the kind of a lot of the. I mean, he fights Dracula in a movie.
Oh yeah, Batman versus Dracula.
Kind of dark.
I've talked to you about this. G. That's the movie where Dracula goes by the name. Yes, Dr. Alucard, and then Batman writes it down on a silver platter, and then he puts it on a mirror, and he's like, Alucard backwards is Dracula.
Yeah, it's the world's greatest detective.
Oh, I love that stupid scene. But
so there have definitely been good darker Batman stuff since. I mean, not as good or dark, but still.
Yeah. Well,
Batman's the one that can pull it off.
This is what at least better than the damn Super Friends, because that was ridiculous.
Oh,
that was what was going on before this, and I remember there was an episode they talked about the MPAA where the superheroes are shrunken down. They're fighting giant spiders, which are just regular spiders.
Oh god, I forgot.
And the spiders fall off a table or something. They like shove them off. And the MPA said it's too violent. You have to show the spiders are okay after
What
they
the
fell.
fuck?
Otherwise, we're not going to let you air the
For
episode.
the love of sweet baby Jesus, burned them all.
Yeah. And then like 5 years later, you have Batman the Animated Series, and it's like, there we go.
Which pulls no punches at
Yes.
all. Yeah, speaking of the art style, though, since you mentioned it just now, I still think that this is like fantastic art style for any cartoon. I think that this thing still holds up and is still much better than a lot of recent cartoons, honestly. Like I know that you know, maybe you could argue about the buildings looking a little bit crappy or whatever because it's like a mixture of 2D and 3D at times, but I still defend this goddamn art style to till my death, honestly.
Yeah, and if people don't
go.
know, like the art style, like on regular cartoons, they would start with white paper and draw and then color it with a thing called an acetate. They would like lay it down on top of it and take a picture.
Mhm.
With this, they actually just start it with black paper and just paint it over it. That's what makes
Oh.
it different. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, because this definitely doesn't look like anything else. Like this art style is almost, I guess, kind of unique in a way. Like at least for me, in terms of like watching these superhero shows or whatever. This one is like the most distinct out of all of them.
Yeah.
Curious. Okay. I did not know that, actually.
Did they do that with the series too, or just the movie?
They did it with the series and the movie, and then I think they changed it. Obviously, like it kind of still looks the same, but obviously they changed it with
yes.
Justice
Okay, so that's why did they change it for like when it became the New Adventures of Batman and Robin? Because the art style,
Yes.
there's you notice the
believe
difference
so.
of the art style very heavily when they transitioned to the New Adventures of Batman and Robin, which
I think
I
think
like.
the only thing I think the only thing they did was refine it, is what it is. But I think it's still on black paper.
Okay.
The thing about the season 4 is that they changed all the way the characters looked.
Yeah.
And I think every character looks worse. I liked season 4 a lot, but I think all the changes to character designs kind of suck. Like the Joker, the worst. Joker and Catwoman, they look bad.
Yeah, I like all of this series of you know, the animated series, but what I don't like about the New Adventures of Batman and Robin was the art style change, which I don't know. I never understood why they went with it. Like, why couldn't they just make the old art style look a little bit more polished or whatever, if that's what they were trying to do? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I will say that as a kid, I did have a VHS. I think it was of the new Adventure of Batman and Robin, which had the episode where Batman and Robin are in a maze with a Minotaur. I think it's like a Riddler episode or something like that.
That's one of the first episodes, I think.
Of the New Adventures of Batman and Robin, right? Like
I think it was season 1. Actually,
it was season 1. I kind of remember.
No, I think that was original Batman.
Really? Okay. Huh.
Let me pull up the episode list here.
I know because the second season, there's something called where they try to like get more edgier and they fight the Riddler again, but it's in a virtual reality.
I think I also saw that one. I think maybe the VHS had that one too.
I think that's the one you're
maybe it was like a Riddler, like a two-parter Riddler thing, because I kind of seem to remember that. like again, I have not watched like every single episode of Batman the Animated Series, but there are a few distinct episodes that I do remember, like the one where he goes blind.
Oh yeah.
and he becomes Daredevil, kind of. Obviously the Christmas one, which is
one
episode
episode
2.
I always remember is when he
Joker's
meets
Laugh.
the Grey Ghost.
I have never seen that one, actually. I don't think that I've ever seen that one, and I hear that one is fantastic.
That was one of the best episodes of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't the Grey
That's
Ghost
one of the best episodes of the
voiced
show,
by
along with the
Adam
one
West?
When Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that's
John,
that is
John,
it.
I think you mean the Grey Ghost.
Oh my god, that is a
Yes.
good Adam West too.
Yeah.
Yeah, this so the show is so iconic. Like as a part of the 90s and even beyond the 90s, like it today still it is like such a fantastic show that pulled no punches. And we have this movie where it feels like it's like, okay, is this canon to the show, or is this like one of those situations where, oh, we made this in the style of the show but it's not canon to the show? Because
I think it
It
is.
is and it isn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's part
So
of it, but it doesn't hold like to the series.
It
Well,
depends.
actually, okay.
Yeah.
the Phantasm
It
never
depends
shows
on-
up back again in the show, right? Or Andrea?
Yeah, not in this show.
Well,
She comes
'cause
back in Batman Beyond.
they continued the animated series story in a new it's called like the Batman Adventures Continues or something. It's a new comic book that came out last year. And they said that's a continuation of the show. It's still written by Paul Dini, and it has the Phantasm in it. So I think that's why I would say it is.
It is
canon.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also, if you want to go like kind of canon of this show, she comes back in the final episode of, either you want to call it the final episode of Batman Beyond or the final episode of Justice League Unlimited, where Terry finds out his background, that
he's
spoilers for Batman,
spoilers.
that Amanda Waller basically created him out of DNA from Bruce, and she had Andrea as the Phantasm was going to kill his parents to basically kickstart him as the new Batman. And so that Andrea comes back in that.
Hey, for the kids, right? Am I right?
Great episode.
Yeah.
You gotta teach them right.
God, I mean,
Gingers are crazy.
yeah. Nowadays, I feel like the kids need more of that. Honestly, but yeah, part of it is like it fits straight into the show. Do you think it because this movie somehow, though, because I saw that the runtime was 116, I thought that the rule for the theatrical release was 120. It had to make the 120 mark.
If you add the credits, I think you can do the 120.
No, it's with the credits. At least in HBO Max, it said 116. Unless maybe did they ever show anything like a short or something with it? Because I don't remember.
I want to say that my DVD copy it was like 122, because I watched it on DVD because I have it.
Yeah, I can't remember.
78 minutes is the runtime.
Yeah,
so that would be
1 hour and 18 minutes.
That'd be an hour 18. Okay.
I'm curious how they managed to get this in the theater, unless the rule of an hour or an hour and 20 minutes didn't come until afterwards. I don't know. But do you guys think that this movie worked as a theatrical movie? Do you?
I think it starts out good as one, like in the score and the symphony, and like it feels like it's gonna be a movie, and then it actually starts, and it's like, oh, it's just like the cartoon, and yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like I'm not throwing shade at the movie or anything. It's just because I really like this movie. It's just I do feel like this was more of an extended edition or an extended version of like a two-parter of the show. More
Right.
so than an actual movie as you would. Like I don't know. I haven't seen Under the Red Hood in a long time. Like, but I feel like that one was more of a theatrical movie than this one, for the most part. Like that one didn't feel like it was
What?
like a another episode, just another episode of the show, or another two-parter of the show. This one does for some reason to me. And again, not bashing the movie.
Under the Red Hood isn't a part of the animated series.
I don't know. But yeah, I was surprised because I saw this movie like 2 or 3 years ago on Netflix. I think it was 2 years ago. I don't know what is time. And I already forgot that this movie starts with this like big choir intro to it, like,
and it's awesome.
It's awesome. I'm not saying otherwise. It is. The score for this movie is actually like incredible. Like I fucking loved a lot of the music in this. Specifically that one. I think that the overarching theme that they also use for a lot of the movie, which is the not the choir one, but the one that's like I think that is when he puts on the mask for the first time in the flashback, and Alfred sees him, and they put the song there, and oh man, it's so good. But yeah, score wise, very good, very great. Story wise, I don't know why. I seem to have to remember it like being a little bit more for some reason. Again, not bashing it, not saying that it's bad, but
Chip and Dale.
Anyone else hear Chip and Dale just now, or is it just me?
No, you're.
But yeah, the story is that this Phantasm, which actually the movie, there's a few minutes of the movie where Batman doesn't talk or say anything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
at the start,
opening 5 minutes.
Yeah,
I mean, it wasn't that bad for the most part.
It's like so we have Batman just busting up this counterfeiting operation. I was gonna say drug deal. It's counterfeiting operation, and he starts. I have a little bit of a problem with this scene of the chase. Where the hell was he when the Phantasm was attacking the dude? Like, he took out he took out the goons like real fast, and he was going after the dude. He went through the same places where what was his name? The gangster. I know the second one was Blonsky. The first one was
Chucky. Chucky Soul.
Yeah,
Chucky
Soul.
Your angel of death awaits.
Yes.
Which, by the way, the Phantasm. Before you get the reveal of who it is and what and whatever, the Phantasm was actually a pretty damn cool, like, I guess you could say, like, what's the word that I'm looking for?
Like a mystery movie friend.
No, Stefan. Like the opposite of Batman, because the Phantasm is basically Batman, except
Anti-hero.
no, it's like it's the same as Batman, but the Phantasm actually kills.
Like a killing vigilante.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the antithesis to Batman. Like Batman spares the
Punisher,
criminals, and the Phantasm is like, nope, you're dead. It's also funny because that is also Jason Todd, essentially. But yeah, the Phantasm was actually pretty damn cool. But that scene kind of bothered me because I was like, okay, it is a few minutes that the Phantasm is just jerking around and scaring this dude and trying to basically kill him, I guess. And Batman doesn't show up until the dude just goes flying over to the next building, and I'm like, where the hell were you? Like, you are faster than these guys too. Like, I don't know.
He was taking precautions because he was going up the stairs, so he was taking step by step.
Or he was wheezing up the stairs. He was like,
I mean, billionaire, philanthropist. What else?
He's in shape. He's in shape.
Genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist.
And that's a different universe. Although
I mean, it's the same.
it's the same thing. Never mind. But
I mean,
yeah, it was interesting that this, and I guess I didn't caught it when I was a kid, that this was also like, because of the Phantasm's work or what the Phantasm is doing, this is like involuntarily like a hunt for Batman too. Like, because everybody mistakes the Phantasm for Batman, and since the Phantasm is killing these people, now people are saying that Batman kills. And that propels the police to like go after him. I feel like that has been done before in Batman comics, right? Like doppelganger Batmans that actually kill people so as to shift the blame to him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Azrael kind of did it.
Yeah,
I feel like I've seen that before, aside from this place. But yeah, the Phantasm just okay. Another problem that I guess I had after the first murder, they show Andrea coming in through an airplane, and I guess that they could explain that it's like a few days or something that passed between the murders or whatever. But I never felt like passing of time too much in this movie. Like, because we were in a constant like going back and forward in the timeline, I never know if some time has passed or no time has passed. Because Bruce at the end explains, "Oh, you killed Chucky, you got out of here, and then came back pretending that you weren't here," or something like that. And I'm like, okay, that would require like some time, like getting into a plane and going and then coming back. Like, that takes time. That is not something that you can do in a day. So I don't know. I felt like showing time could have been done a little better.
Well, I think also too in their duality, it kind of reminds me of Selena in Returns as well, because she's after revenge for something that happened to her, and she dresses up to go like enforce it, and like the same thing happens with this chick.
Yeah.
Kind of the same plot almost in a way.
Almost, except
hers is more closely tied to Bruce though.
Yeah, that's the deal, because in Batman Returns, Selena isn't necessarily like close to Bruce. Until she becomes Catwoman or whatever. But prior to that, like, at least Andrea, like, she knew Bruce from years and years ago.
Yeah.
Which also kind of leads me to the. I laughed. She discovers that he's Batman because he was standing right next to the tombstone of the Waynes. Like, she's the world's greatest detective, not Bruce Wayne. I was like, how do you?
I think she also had the like hearing him talk about the plan and never quite knowing what that was, and
But that
seeing
was-
him crying at his parents' grave, and
Yeah, but that was 10 years prior to when she comes back. Like, I don't. Unless she has better memory than all of us combined, I don't think that you would, like, put two and two together that fast by remembering, oh, Bruce told me one day about the plan, or talked something about the plan. This guy was standing right next to the Waynes. Batman is Bruce Wayne. Something like that. I don't know. Like,
I don't know. I could see that.
like, I don't know. It would have been better if, like, she would have gotten a little bit more hints towards it instead of, like, just right then and there. Oh, Batman was right next to the Wayne, to the Wayne tombstone. It must be Bruce. Like,
Yeah, I feel like if Batman Forever is doing a better job at explaining how the girl figures it out, then that's not good. 'Cause I think in that one, she figures it out by kissing him and then kissing Batman and then being like, they got the same kiss.
oh God, Chase.
Yeah.
Why do you have to remind me of Chase Meridian? Yeah. Which, coincidentally, now that you mentioned that, that is also, isn't that also the way that Mary Jane kind of deduces that Peter Parker in the original Raimi trilogy? Like, or no? Am I just?
Yeah, there's just a lot more
No.
rain and no bra scene.
Yes. Okay, sure. A little bit of A, a little bit of B.
Yeah, I don't think she finds out until she sees him without.
Yeah, but never mind. We're not talking about Spider-Man. Eventually, we'll do Spider-Man 2, and we'll get into that. But not today. Not today, Frosty. So I was surprised that there wasn't that much Gordon in this movie. Like for some reason, I've remembered there being more Commissioner Gordon in here, and no, he's just like, no, I won't chase the Batman. Well, if you want to chase the Batman, you'll have to do it without me, and he just leaves. We don't see him again in the entire movie.
I can't do it till season 4 of the show, but then it's a dream.
Oh, really? I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God. Does it
The
involve?
best episode of season 4.
Does it involve Bruce, banging Barbara? Oh wait, that's the Killing Joke. Never mind.
Oh gosh. Oh man.
It does involve Barbara, but not that way.
Which, by the way, Joker actually kind of wears a similar outfit to like, or I guess that he's always wearing that goddamn or a similar looking hat to the one that he was wearing when he was meeting up with Arthur, whatever his name was, the councilman. Like you can only see his shadow at the beginning, and I was like, is this going to be like the Killing Joke? But no. Although he did induce him with laughing gas, so
Yeah.
But yeah, Gordon wasn't in this much, which is always a little bit disappointing to me because I love Commissioner Gordon in the animated show, obviously in the Nolan trilogy. I can't wait for to watch the Batman, since you guys have said that he's probably the best or is the best.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so the deal with this movie too is that we don't really get like that much of Batman's. Well, we don't get Batman's rogue gallery. We just get Joker and the introduction of this new villain that is the Phantasm, which is very interesting, especially if the show was going along when this movie came out. But you know, it's the Phantasm is a welcome change. Do you think the Joker was necessary, and especially throwing in like a quote unquote origins or not, or I don't know, can we call this an origin story for the Joker too, because they show that he was a gangster?
Sorta, kinda, maybe.
Like obviously I love Mark Hamill as the Joker, but I don't know how to feel about him, about this origin thing that they threw in here. Like, ultimately it works, but it kind of reminds me of, you know how people were angry about Batman Arkham Origins because the Joker was the actual big bad of that game instead of it being Black Mask. It's kind of the same situation here, where we got the Phantasm, who is supposedly the big bad of this movie, and no, it's the at the end, it's always the Joker.
Yeah.
But you cannot have Batman without Joker, so
You can, though. And you should.
I kind of like. I think Joker's kind of the best part of this movie.
Okay. Interesting. Like, it's not like he ruins the movie or anything, but it's just I'm like, we had this story of like Batman trying to stop this villain that is killing the mafia, essentially, and it was like, you know, a little quote unquote more grounded, I guess, even though the Phantasm, I don't know how she pulled the disappearing axe, or, you know, not getting hit or anything. Like, that was never explained, but hey, it's a kids movie, so whatever, just go with it, I guess.
Movie magic,
I guess.
Let's see if they actually tell how that worked.
But yeah, again, I love Mark Hamill as the Joker, but I don't know, I could have done without him here. Like again, he just takes over. At some point, he just takes over, just like Arkham Origins. He takes over, and it's the Joker show. Again, I love him, but
like, maybe we're just too Joker spoiled nowadays. Like, maybe we just need to,
I'm sure that when this came out, and even when I saw it as a kid, I loved it, and it was the best, and I didn't mind. But you know, we've had so many Jokers now that And again, I love Mark Hamill. I know Mark Hamill is still the best Joker to me, and Kevin Conroy is still the best Batman to me. But you know, I don't know. We could have had like a cool introduction to a new villain, and not count on the Joker just, you know, kind of redeeming the villain, I guess. I don't know.
They could have put Condiment King in this, everyone's favorite.
They could have put the Mad Hatter. There was one scene where Batman is on top of a building and the building's name is Big Hats or something like that. And all I could think of was, the Mad Hatter has to be around here somewhere. No, Stefan.
Oh my God,
we are never doing Batman versus the Condiment King. That would be Batman and Robin levels of stupidity.
It would.
Hey, Stefan, have you seen Harley Quinn?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Harley Quinn's so good. Lion, you got to watch the Harley Quinn show.
I have it on my watch list one day, maybe.
Oh, sorry. I meant, like, I've seen the movie. The show, I've seen one episode, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of that show, and it has Kite Man in it. Made me really like Kite Man.
Oh god. Oh no. But yeah, the characters work. I just wish that Joker would have been pulled back. And also the fact that they tied in Joker into the origin of the Phantasm 2. Like, he was the one who ultimately killed Andrea's father. I don't know. But
yeah, no, I agree. She should have been able to stand on her own as a villain.
Yeah, that's what I feel. Like, I don't know. But still good. Still like the Joker. It's just I wish that they would have pulled back on him and left the Phantasm actually shine in its own movie. It's called Mask of the Phantasm, for God's sake. Which for the majority of the movie, the character is so great, and I really like the Phantasm as this villain, and this like I was saying, the antithesis to Batman. But you know, they just couldn't let it go. Which, goddamn, I feel like if this movie would have been done today and done in HBO Max, we would have seen like the blood and like the blood splatter of the second dude, of Blonsky, when the statue fell on him. Like, I feel we would have seen like a goddamn puddle of blood at the very least beneath that statue. That was damn, man.
He's got the best death in the movie, I think.
Yes. Yeah, because the first guy, he could have survived. Like, I've seen Fast and Furious. I know that they can jump through buildings with cars. So, I don't know. He could have survived. I don't know how going from one building to another and crashing killed you, for sure.
Yeah. He just had to change his name to The Rock. He would have been fine.
Probably.
Or just Dwayne for short. Yeah.
Dwayne. Dwayneski.
Dwayneski.
Yeah, that
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah. What happened? Did we lose you?
I have no idea. Discord just like crapped out, and then it came back, and you guys couldn't hear me.
Oh no! So it was the mask of the It was the Phantasm, John. The angel of death. The angel of death awaits for you. The third one, the third gangster who died, though. With the laughing gas, and then to add insult to injury, just the explosion. Just to make sure. Like, yeah, sure. Yeah, yes. That one was also good. But nah, the second guy.
If you're gonna do it right.
I mean, yeah. That's how the Joker does it. But yeah, I'm trying to think. When the police were chasing Batman, that scene. I like that scene. Especially how he gets out of it. He ties up a roadblock to the grappling hook. He shoots or you don't see it when he ties it up. He shoots the grappling hook at the helicopter, which is funny because you do that in Batman Arkham City. Now that I think about it. But he ties up the roadblock to the grappling hook and his cape to it, so that the police think that it's Batman. The police are out to fucking kill this guy. Like, you would think, like, okay,
They don't.
even okay, but even if he has killed these mobsters, it's fucking mobsters. Like,
yeah,
why would you then? Like, no, you prosecute him and bring him in alive for trial or whatever. Nah, these cops, they just went all in, like, and just annihilating his cape. I'm like,
I remember as a kid being incredibly sad that the police were chasing Batman. I'm like, no, he's a good guy. Like, I was so sad at that scene, and It was kind of like a trope too, I think, at the time where like, because when he's running away, doesn't Andrea pick him up in the car? She's like, "Hey, get in."
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think about movies of the time that happened in RoboCop, that happened in The Crow. Like it happened in so many movies where the good guy would be like at the end of his rope, he's about to get caught, and then somebody pulls up in a car, is like, "Get in." I don't know.
Yeah, it also reminded me of last week's movie, Batman Begins, when Batman is saved by Alfred when he gets like with the toxin and shit, and he's like, Alfred, come get me, Alfred. It was essentially the same thing, kind of.
I got a cramp.
But yeah, it I don't know. It was a great like scene. I just was wondering, why are the police doing this? Like, or at the very least, why are they shooting to kill? Like, they like at the very least arrest him and you know, but no, they wanted him dead, even though he's put out like all of these other crazies, I guess, because it is like Batman has been in the game for a while in this movie.
Yeah.
So, you know, I don't know. Like,
still looked like the Batman was still like at the beginning of his bat.
Yeah, I kind of had a problem with that too. Like, this is like a few years Batman. Like, this is not year 1 or year 2 Batman where he's like still learning the ropes. And I don't know, it almost felt like he was still in that year 1 or year 2, even though the time.
What was the time between when Andrea left and
10 years.
she came back? Was it like
10 years.
10 years? Okay, so he's been doing it for about 10 years.
Yeah,
Wow.
because they show him doing the pre-Batman thing, and him not being able to intimidate the bad guys and all that. Which, by the way, I'm guessing that maybe like this was a direct inspiration for Batman Begins, because it literally almost looked like kind of the same suit that he wore that in Batman Begins when
Batman
he was
Year One.
Is it like okay?
Yeah, that's literally Batman Year One. He starts out in that, and then over time he basically develops the bat suit over his time of fighting until he gets the full suit.
Yeah, because he says the criminals aren't afraid of him, and he has to find something to make them afraid. And I know in the comic book, the bat
Year One
crashes
came out in
through the
87.
window. Yeah,
I thought that the bat was gonna crash through the window, because when he's talking about that and he's in like the house, there is this one single bat that passes by the window. And I'm like, okay, is this how he's gonna? Nope. Wait. Okay, it's like 2 more scenes. Which, by the way, speaking of bats, that was a lot of fucking bats. Like that was an insane amount of bats. Like to be coming out of that cave. I don't know.
About the same number that was in the
Batman
police
Begins
station last week.
Yeah.
Or in the asylum. Yeah.
I guess bat packs are huge.
Bat.
God damn it, I hate myself for that one. But
Don't
yeah.
worry, we can hate for you.
Oh god. I already lost my train of thought of where I was.
The police going after him, even though he's been
Right.
established for like 10 years, is kind of weird. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Like especially, like I don't know. I would like maybe it's because we've had other iterations of Batman where I guess the police always question, why don't you just kill them instead of bringing him alive or bringing them back to Arkham Asylum? They escape and keep doing this over and over and over again. Why don't you just? And now suddenly he just. I mean, I guess that it's because it's the mob. I don't know. I feel like if I were the police, and it's these guys who are, unless the police doesn't know that they are like the mob, which I highly doubt.
They're to just ignore.
Exactly.
Like
that's what I'm saying. Like the police would just, what the hell, whatever. They died. So, like, going on this. I guess that is also because Arthur, the councilman, was hogging them to do it. But I don't. How much power does a councilman have in the police?
Yeah. Wasn't he running for mayor too, or something? Or is that something else I'm thinking of?
No, he explained that
he was running
the way
before.
The way that he got to actually run for councilman was by helping out or telling on Andrea's father on where they were, I guess, or something like that, to the mob. Something like that is what he explains. But I don't know. I feel like a councilman doesn't have that much. Like a mayor, maybe, and even then, I don't know. But a councilman, just a councilman, having that much power over the police, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Again, it made for a cool scene, and I liked when one of the SWAT guys was trying to get into the Batwing. He was just hitting it with the with the rifle, like bah, bah, like open up, and it didn't open. Which, by the way, I fucking love that Batwing. That is my favorite Batwing of all time. Like, I know that it's like a modified version of the Batman '89 one, but it looks so good, and I fucking love it.
And you still have policemen trying to get into it by hammering the windshield with the rifle.
Yay. Which
you still question why they're done.
Oh, now I get where you're going with this, G. I sent G a video of something that happened. But though. So again, I keep getting reminded of the Arkham games. The world of the future was kind of like the Wonder Tower from Arkham City.
Yeah, I think it was exact like derivative of it, wasn't it?
Yeah, I feel like it was. It's also funny that in that flashback of him being with Andrea there, like they show him like picking up the bat. Or getting kind of enamored at the idea of the Batmobile there. Because he sees this futuristic car. And he's like, oh. Like, you can see it in his face. He doesn't say anything, but you can see it in his face, and then they show the car, which was what he was looking at. And I'm like, okay, so this is where he got the Batmobile, I guess, from. But
from basically Mr. Stark.
Basically. Kind of.
Yeah.
And there's that one episode in the animated series of them getting the Batmobile repaired.
Mm.
They take it to somebody who knows how to work on that car, and that's how he gets the Batmobile fixed from that one person.
Mm.
In the comic
I don't
book,
remember what.
Yeah, I don't remember either. I know in the comic books they have like a guy who's mute that fixes everything in the Batcave, and
the mechanic.
The mechanic.
That sounds like Daredevil.
That's the name of the episode.
That sounds like the Daredevil Netflix show where the mute guy made the suit for Daredevil. Curious. I didn't know that.
Yeah, the name of that episode is The Mechanic.
Okay. Interesting. Now that I think about it, I know that they did this a lot in the show, where some episodes Batman would be solo and there would be no Robin. But this is 10 years after, and there was no Robin here for this whole thing. Like, I know that in... Which one is it? Is it... Batman and Mr. Is Batman and Mr. Freeze new Batman and Robin?
No, it's old.
It's all better. It's all Batman.
Because it's Dick Grayson.
Okay, so no. No, I think there is one of these animated Batman movies where it is Tim Drake.
Batman Mystery of Batwoman.
That's the one. Yeah. That's yeah. Yeah, that Robin shows up in that one. But in this one we didn't get it, and again, it's 10 years later, you would assume. I don't know.
Well, in the actual show, Dick Grayson is in college, so he only is Robin when he's in town for, break or whatever. That's when he's Robin.
Oh, so maybe.
Yeah.
And there are a few episodes that revolve around him as, he figures something that's going on at college and he ends up getting Batman in on it.
There's in season 4 too, he finally becomes Nightwing and he moves to Bloodhaven.
Nightwing.
So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I guess that as a kid, I never. I guess that it, as a kid, I never understood that there were multiple Robins and it wasn't just one. Again, I blame the art style change. Like, maybe I would have understood it better. I don't know. But yeah. So the Phantasm here, once it's revealed that it's her, that it's Andrea, and she goes to fight the Joker, and she takes off the mask for some reason, it kind of becomes lame.
I always question, how does he know that it's her?
That's also a good question. Like, everybody seems to
because he knows her dad's dead.
No. Here's the deal. He knows that it's her, but he doesn't know that Bruce Wayne is Batman. Because he saw them be together, and she literally says, we can't be together, my love, or something like that. Like, I don't know. The Joker is smart enough to maybe put it 2 and 2 together with that, but I don't know.
There was a
Well, I think. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say there was a Batman comic book that tried to explain it, where it was called Death in the Family or Death of the Family, whatever.
Yeah, definitely.
And it tries to explain it to where it's impossible for the Joker to deduce that, because his mind almost won't let him, because it's impossible for him to see
Anyone
Batman
being
as
Batman.
anything. Yeah, anything Batman, anything other than Batman. So even if he saw Bruce Wayne, he would be like, no, that's just Batman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's a weird thing because Bruce goes to Arkham and shows him this calling card that he left on the Bat boat, and the Joker just stares at him like he doesn't understand what he's saying to him, because even though if Batman had showed up and done it, he'd be like, oh, so you got my calling card. But because Bruce did it, he can't fathom, oh, it's Batman.
Okay. Huh.
Yeah. It's weird. It's a nice way of setting it up, though.
That is weird, actually. So I guess by the end of this, the Joker doesn't die. Does he die?
No,
It's
does
ambiguous.
No.
Because,
Well,
supposedly they're supposed to blow up, but
No, it does not.
But she uses the mystical magic teleporting gas to just teleport herself and Joker out of there, or I don't know. It was weird. She's like, no, Bruce, or Batman, you need to live, but she leaves him there to die basically with the explosions all around. I'm like, okay, are you trying to save him or kill him? Decide. I don't know. It was again. I really like this movie, but the ending also was like, I don't know. Like some of it was a little bit
I
weird.
I think the ending would have been better if they had done a I don't want to say this, of like at the last second when she disappears like that, she chose to save the Joker, and then later we see him in jail or whatever, and then everything else happened.
And her in the boat, like, yeah, but
Yeah.
that would have maybe worked, but it also would have been like too big of a 180 for her because she's already killed all these other guys. What's her to stop her from killing the biggest one of them all?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how I would have changed it. I just know that it was a little bit weird. Again, not bad, but it felt like a weird ending of like, because I really thought that that Joker and her were going to die there, and then like, you know, as Joker does, he comes back or whatever, but no, she somehow disappears with him in the mist, and then she shows up in the boat, and we don't see Joker. So I don't know. It was weird to me.
Well, I mean, if you think back to the World's Finest when him and Superman teamed up, Joker literally exploded in a plane and was somehow still alive later.
Joker isn't. I was gonna say immortal, but no, he has died.
Yeah, he dies in Return of the Joker.
Yes. Does he die in the Dark Knight Returns?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
He kills himself.
Doing our own.
And it's implied that Batman kills him in The Killing Joke.
It wasn't the writer's intention, Alan Moore, but fans have speculated that, and they argue it, even though it was an intention.
You talk about the movie or the comic?
I think
just the comic.
Yeah, Stefan is talking about the comic. I was talking about the movie, because in the movie you literally see when he's choking him to fucking death.
Yeah.
Or implied that he's choking him to fucking death. Which God, that movie's not great, but I do like that fucking part where Batman is just like laughing and just killing him. Like, that's a good one. But yeah, I don't know. This movie's it's weird to me. Like, I like it. It's good, but there are some things that are just like, I don't know, are very 90s show-ish. Like, you know, there's a lot of things that are left up in the air, or there's too much of a coincidence of getting to conclusions too fast. Like Andrea finding out that Bruce is Batman, or, you know, putting two and two together that he's Batman. The Joker somehow knowing that Andrea is the Phantasm. I guess that... What would the explanation for that be? Like, because he knows that he killed her father? And that maybe she's out for revenge? And I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he keeps tabs on certain people, possibly.
Yeah, like, Like, did he already know that the Phantasm was her when he went to talk to Arthur? Because she calls him, she calls Arthur when the Joker is there, you know, quote unquote visiting him, and he's like shaking his head, like, yeah, you want to go on you want to meet up with her or something like that. I don't know. It's kind of weird. A lot of this movie, or it's almost like the second half of the movie is like that. Like, because the first half of the movie is pretty I guess, consistent and, pretty spot on, and then somehow it's when it starts there's a lot of these, I don't know if to call them plot holes or not, like leaps in logic, I guess.
Yeah, like nobody can die. Everyone has to go back to how they were at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah. It's weird. But I still like it, if only because it is part of the show. Which is a great show.
Mhm.
So yeah, I don't know. Anything you guys want to add about it?
Andrea was voiced by Lois Lane.
Which Lois Lane? There's been like a billion things.
Superman the animated series. Same voice actors.
Ah,
Oh.
that show came out after this, right?
It
Yeah.
came out.
Because it was the same team, and they essentially said, "Hey, yeah, I'm out of a job. I guess Batman. And then, do you want to do Superman?
Hmm.
Something like that."
Trying to find.
Could be.
Animated series. I think it was 99.
Mm. I think it should have been closer. I mean, the art style was more Batman, the New Adventures of Batman and Robin than the original animated series or the first couple seasons.
I guess the way you could track it is, when did the 64 come out?
Oh God, Superman 64 came out in
97.
97.
96 was Superman.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah. Why did you have to remind me of Superman 64?
I really like that show.
I mean,
I've beaten that game.
DC. God damn it, Stefan. Oh God. DC has always had like good TV shows for the most part, and also animated movies too. At least much better
than Marvel, actually.
At least much better animated movies than Marvel. So this movie did not do well in the box office, if I remember correctly. This was like
no.
Like this movie was the first, and the reason why there had not been another animated Batman movie in the theaters until Lego Batman, maybe?
Yeah, I think so.
Every other one has been straight
the budget
to
was
DVD.
$6 million and it made 5.6.
Not good numbers.
Well, the decision to put it in the theaters was literally a last minute decision.
Yeah, I don't think there's any advertising for it. I think that was its biggest, the biggest component.
And it came out on Christmas Day.
Oh yeah, that's that too.
Yeah, that would definitely do it.
Well, that explains why they're monkeys. Warner Brothers.
That also explains how everyone just like survives and disappears in this movie. Power of Christmas.
The
Santa Claus.
The power of Christmas compels you.
The power of Santa Christ compels everybody here and makes them immortal, or something like that. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe. I mean, it was a good effort, but not good enough, I guess. Again, if it was a last minute, like, thing of putting it in the theaters, then yeah, that proves my point of this was literally like just a two two-parter episode of the show, kind of.
Yeah. I think it would have been better that way if it was done through the show, and it'd probably be on everyone's like top 10 list if it had been.
Mm-hmm. I mean, this show is still very highly regarded by people, like as one of the best Batman movies, but you know, it does have some things that just I cannot overlook them. Even if I have nostalgia for this movie, even if I love the show as much as I do, and Kevin Conroy and the Joker and everything, there are a lot of things that just was like, I don't know about that. And it's not like it's not an entertaining movie. It is a very entertaining movie for the most part. Obviously, I guess that, I mean, the show was like that, kind of, where it was more, you know, talking and going over things than just action too. But I like that Batman, where it's not just action and he actually does, you know. Oh, now that I was about to mention something, the dude is a creeper, by the way. Batman is a creeper. When he's fucking stalking them on that building, and he's just like with the binoculars, just like looking at them, and then he just zooms in on them holding hands. I was like, dude, you are a creeper. Like, Jesus H. Christ. Like, I know that I mean, I guess that the point of the movie too is to show this vulnerable Batman that I don't think that we see that often too, because this Batman was ready to like give up everything both times. Okay. Like he was ready to just throw it all away for her. Which, by the way, goddamn, I also forgot that in that flashback where they show them mating up for the first time, and then like 2 days later they're already Batmaning, you know. And I love Alfred, by the way, which we haven't talked about in this whole thing. I love Alfred's reaction both times when they are kissing, and he like goes in to bring them tea or whatever the hell he was bringing them, and he's like, oh, well, I guess I'll bring this out later. Both times he does the same thing. He's like, well, I guess this is the night. Mm-hmm.
Maybe Alfred went
best Alfred in my opinion ever.
G, I know that you loved Alfred's line of basically him telling Batman, remember, sir, that I've wiped your ass.
Basically. He did. He actually did say that. More than you know, sir.
But yeah, I this Alfred is great. Again, proving the point of we have never had a bad Alfred, in my opinion. Like, every Alfred is just brings something. And even in Batman and Robin, Alfred was probably like one of the best things in that movie.
Oh yeah.
Like, because of it, because of the thing of him dying and all that. Like he had that one scene with Bruce when he was in the bed, and Bruce treating him like, you know, like basically his dad. Because obviously he's the one who's raised him his whole life. And obviously Michael Caine is a great Alfred. Jeremy Irons, I really like as Alfred. Again, it's like real hard. I know that I've from what John said too, that Andy Serkis is a good Alfred too. It's just that he's not that much in the movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, Alfred's very like hard to mess up, in my opinion. I think that he's you know, whether it's being voiced by someone or portrayed by someone, it's always a great time just seeing him say something to Batman. Kind of putting him in his place most of the time. Yeah. I think that's all. I think that we covered all of it for the most part. If anyone else doesn't have anything to add, we'll just get to ratings.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. So, reminder for Stefan, since he hasn't been here since Resident Evil. Ratings. Ratings go from top to bottom. The top one is The Force is Strong. Then it's a Whopper. Then Life is Good, but it could be better. Leave the gun, take the cannoli. Again, I guess that I should explain that Life is Good, but it could be better. It's more good than bad. Like, it's a good movie, but there are heavy stuff that kind of drags it down. Leave the gun, take the cannoli is the reverse. It's more bad than good, and you just take what's good from the movie and leave the rest of it behind. That's no good. Self-explanatory. Like, it's a bad movie. And Put the Cookie Down is a movie you never ever want to watch ever again. And also, there's the cop-out, which is I Was Frozen Today. AKA the chill out. But yeah. I don't know if anyone wants to start or if I should start.
I'll say for the child in me, it's probably going to be The Force is Strong. That's as a kid, that's probably what I would rate it as. Now it's the cannoli.
Really? Damn. Okay.
Yeah. I think its greatest thing is the score. The score beats everything.
Oh yeah. Score is fantastic.
Yeah. And they're lucky they got that chick. I really wish I knew what her name was.
Let me see if I can find it.
But yeah, I think it's a classic in the same way that like the Adam West movie is. I just don't watch it as much as like the others. So yeah, I think it has a little bit of flaws. What is it?
Shirley Walker.
Shirley Walker. Yeah. So she did a fantastic job. But that's what I would rate it.
Okay, interesting. G?
This one was a tough one, actually. I want to like it to give it a whopper, but I cannot overlook the problems that he has. Life is good, but it could be better. 0.5. Can I say that? 2.0.
Life is gooder, but it could be betterer.
Yeah,
that works.
I mean, it's aside from the flaws that the movie has that we have covered already, it's a good movie. Big mistake on sending it to the theater, though, because I think that it would have been best to keep it in the television, and then going off that success, maybe you could have done like another movie in the theater. But then again, was way back in the 90s where things were still being experimented on. You could say that. I mean, our generation, it's the big experiment, if you would call it like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, life is good, but it could be better.
Life is gooder, but it could be betterer.
That's it. That. Yes.
Okay. John.
I went into this movie going like, oh, it's still going to be the best Batman movie ever made. Like I had always thought it was. And I came out of like, it's still one of the best Batman movies ever made. It's not the best one. Yeah, I think I'm probably life is good but could be better. It's everything that's good is very, very good, but the few things that are bad just drag it down just a little too much for it to be a whopper.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, going into it, I was, because again, I saw this movie 2 years ago. I saw this movie, and I really, really liked it back when I saw it 2 years ago when we weren't doing the show, and we've seen a lot of other movies in that process. Like back 2 years ago, I didn't watch like that many movies as I am doing now because of the show. So I went into this movie thinking that I was going to also give it either a Whopper or The Force is Strong with this one, because it is a good Batman movie, and you know, in my heart, it is still a great Batman movie, but it's hard to overlook like all of the leaps in logic that this movie has, and you know, every other of the things that we covered of things that like, maybe on a casual viewing, maybe maybe you could overlook it, but again, since we have been critical of other movies, it is unfair to like, oh, just giving it a pass or whatever. Yeah, this movie for me, it is a life is good but it could be better. Like, again, it just, the problem is also comparing this movie, this theatrically released Batman movie, to other theatrically released Batman movies. Like Stefan said, I haven't watched Batman 89 in a while, but I think that I would much rather watch that again than watch this movie.
Yeah.
Which, funny and sad at the same time, Stefan. I was going to invite you for when we did Batman 89 later in the year, but the Flash got delayed to next year, so now it's for next year. So,
Oh man, you know I'll be here for that.
that's your favorite Batman movie, right?
I think it might be my favorite movie of all time.
Okay. Oh, see, you definitely need to be in here for that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, like again, this movie's not bad. It is a good movie. It's just there's a few things that you just can't overlook with it. But yeah, the score fantastic. Again, I still say the animation and the art style for this movie is still top notch. Still the best, in my opinion. Like, I don't think that cartoons have ever gotten any better than this. And obviously Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill are the most iconic to me, my favorite Batman and Joker. It's just that, you know, the first half of the movie was really fantastic, and then it loses it. It loses its way when they basically just put the Joker in as the villain of the story instead of leaving the Phantasm as the main one. So yeah, life is good, but it could be better. I feel like if they had done, not just put this as part of the show, but maybe like a 3-parter. I don't know. Did they ever do like 3-parter episodes of the show? I know that there are like 2-parters, but 3-parters, was that a thing for the show? Because
Look through the
Good question.
list.
I think maybe if there was one, the only one I could think of that would have been a 3-parter maybe was the Ra's al Ghul one. One of those.
No, there's no 3-parters.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think there was, but that would be the only guess I'd have.
Okay. So maybe they would have just like put it on DVD, or, you know, premiering on Cartoon Network and just put it as a 2-hour movie, but because of the ads and all that.
Now, Justice League. I think there was a couple of 3-parter episodes of Justice League.
Yeah, but Justice League was like in the 2000s, so, and that's from there, like, they did start doing a lot more of those, like not just 2-parters but 3-parters. Like, the show that that show that I know for a fact that did like 3-parters, even 4-parters, was Power Rangers. Like, they would just like stretch out, not stretch out, but actually make like in season 1 the best part of Power Rangers. Stefan, I know that you had to watch maybe some of it for a commission, I think, is what you what you did. The Green with Evil arc, which is like a 4-parter.
Oh yeah,
which is what?
And it goes on. Because there's just and I don't know. I'd say that the Power Rangers does use the time wisely though, because essentially it's kind of like a 17-minute show without, like, if you take away the filler of them just like replaying the scenes of like the Zords and them morphing. It's like a 17-minute show. So there are like 5 or 6 parts, but they're very. They feel short.
Yes.
Essentially, yeah.
Actually, most of season 1 is just filler to me. When I watched season 1 2 years ago, I don't know how I did the whole watching all of Power Rangers thing on Netflix before they took them out.
2020, I think.
Yeah, it was 2020, I believe, where I started doing it, and I finished it in last year. I skipped a lot of season 1 of Power Rangers because there's a lot of, like, there's not overarching stuff in that season 1, like, which is why I always say when people want to get into Power Rangers and want to start with season 1, I always say just watch the pilot, watch the first episode, Day of the Monster, and then just skip all the way to Green with Evil. Like, those are probably like the only episodes that you need to watch of season 1. And then just move over to season 2, where it has a little bit more of a cohesive story.
I'll say the food fight episode was pretty good too. Maybe that one too.
Food fight episode is iconic. I had a VHS of that.
Yeah.
so to me, it's iconic. But yeah, for the most part, a lot of Power Rangers is, at least in those first couple of seasons, it's like a lot of episodes are skippable since they are like filler. But anyways, we're not here to talk about Power Rangers. We'll talk about Power Rangers some other day. Yeah, that was Batman Mask of the Phantasm, though. Good movie. If you've never watched it, I do recommend people watch it. Like, it is still a solid animated movie. It's just not the best Batman movie as I once thought it was. Yeah. What were we going to watch next week, people? Terminator 2.
Terminator?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, Terminator 2. We're watching next week.
Wow.
I'll watch that again.
I will watch that for the first time.
Wow, the first time?
Yes.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, I will say that I think, hands down, Terminator 2 is the greatest action movie of all time.
I've heard that.
I really wanted to get them to do Con Air after, or not Con Air, The Rock after, just like 2 of the best action movies back to back, but I don't think I'm going to get that.
No, I'm still, I don't know. We'll see. I still think that we should do either Airplane or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. One of those two. I don't know.
We'll figure it out.
We'll see. Well, we will consult during the week. Or maybe not. Maybe next week. I don't know. But yeah, Stefan, thank you for being here, though.
Yeah, it's always fun. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, you know that whenever you want, you can come by and crash the party.
I think about it all the time. Like, I should go back on, or even like cross promote and have you on my channel. Do
Sure.
something. But I'm just so busy all the time.
Yeah, I that's why I don't. That's why I asked like 2 weeks ago when I did. I was like, Stefan, do you think you could show up for Batman? If you have the time, man. I'm not like I am very sensitive with that stuff. That's why I would love to have like more people. Like I drag these three, including Mitos, along because I know them like personally and shit and all that. But usually I'm like more wary of getting people in the shows with me or whatever, because I don't want to be like invading people's time, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I know that it's that you have to commit to the thing and all that stuff, and I'm like that.
Yeah,
but,
totally.
yeah, thanks again for dropping by, and hopefully we can have you for something else aside from Batman next year. Like, I don't know. You just I'll every now and then throw you like a list of what we're doing, and if you see anything that you like, if you want to drop by, you're always welcome. The council is always open.
That would actually be cool. Yeah, totally. I'll take a look at the list.
Are you a Dragon Ball fan?
I am a Dragon. I've actually been rewatching Dragon Ball this week.
Oh no, you're not gonna like
you can come back in April. We're doing
you're not gonna like this, Stefan.
Evolution.
Yeah.
My brain just started hurting. It's like, wait, what was that again? Don't remember.
Yeah, because Superhero comes out and apparently I got screwed and got left with the worst Dragon Ball movie ever made to talk about when that comes out, because I'm really excited for Superhero.
Nice.
What, you thought that we were going to do the 90s Broly movie?
Or cooler?
Or cooler?
Good movie. Or cooler. I'd take that.
Yeah, we are watching Cooler. Cooler as ice. But Stefan, give a plug to whatever it is that you're doing, to your book, to anything.
Yeah, so the book's name again is Superpunks. And
oh no.
Cyberpunk
Holiday is my YouTube.
Ah, okay. I was like, okay.
Superpunks with an X. Yeah, that's the book, and it's doing pretty well. Hopefully it continues. And then my Instagram's just the same thing as my YouTube, Cyberpunk Holiday. So come say hi.
No longer the Millennial Man.
Yes.
You have evolved from Millennial to the Cyberpunk.
Yeah, the new era.
Oh, God.
Evolution.
As long as you're not the 2077 one, you're all right. You're all right.
Yes.
Hey, that game seems pretty cool.
I will reserve. I will not say anything because I still haven't played the trial. Yeah, I'll leave the link of the book on the description down below on YouTube, so people who are having trouble finding it, like John, can find it.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, it's not all one word. It's
oh yeah, I guess we should have mentioned that it's two words, not one word.
Yeah.
Oops. But yeah, we will be back. We'll be back next week for Terminator 2. This week,
Judgment Day.
T2 Judgment Day. This week, though, tomorrow I should be back for the Harley Quinn's Revenge DLC. Assuming that I beat that tomorrow, I should do the long overdue Rugrats Search for Reptar. I don't know if one and done. I'm not sure.
One question. Are we doing the extended version of Terminator or the theatrical version?
Whichever one's on whichever streaming service Terminator 2 is.
I'm not sure that's on any streaming service.
Oh, good. So I'm gonna have to sail the high seas.
Terminator 2, let me see. Give me a second.
I'm looking too.
So while these two find it, I will also be doing First Strike this week is going to be Final Fantasy IV in honor of Stranger of Paradise, dropping this week. I'll be doing the PSP, GBA, and the DS versions of Final Fantasy IV. I'm just taking a look at the beginning of all three of those.
Oh man, the DS version is rough.
I mean, I say the DS version because I think that's the Steam version that I have, not the Pixel Remaster. There's another one that's the 3D one. So I believe that is
Terminator 2 is not streaming anywhere.
Oh, great! So we're gonna have to find some way to watch that. Yippee!
You could rent it, but not free.
We'll see.
Or you could just be like me and have the Blu-ray.
I don't have the Blu-ray, sir.
I have the Steelbook.
1, 2. Of course you do.
Oh.
You have a Steelbook for everything.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
There should be one more stream this week, which I haven't decided what I will do, but it is looking probable. I think that it's already been a year since I did the first Power Rangers Spectacular. I might do, since we were talking about Power Rangers, I may do Power Rangers PS1 games this week. So we'll see. I actually found some Japanese exclusive ones based on the Sentai. And I'm looking forward to seeing how those go. Oh, and by the way, John, I found like 2 more racing games. Both are of the Flintstones.
Of course you did.
Okay. God. I'm serious. I'm seriously thinking of doing Card Month next month. Of finally doing Card Month. I've been teasing and saying that I'm doing Card Month for like a year and a half at this point, and I still haven't done it. And I think that I finally have to do it. I finally have to do Card Month.
You're just a tease.
I am a tease. Anyways, people, thank you all so much for watching today's episode. Until next time, people, may your hearts be your guiding key. Remember, stay inside, stay alive, stay hydrated, be kind to everybody. Don't be a creeper like Batman, and have a good night. Bye.
Night.
I'm Batman. Swear to me, Rachel. Oh wait, that was last week. Andrea.